Today on the Hangout, basketball fans, we check in with the All-Star ballot casting. Kyrie's in there and Kobe's leading. Speaking of Kobe, we check in with the LA Times. The Lakers are struggling through Kobe Bryant's final season in the land. And the Toronto Raptors. Two big losses, but they rebounded against the Nets. We'll break down all the Raptors news here on Hangout. It is 2016, basketball fans. That means it's going to be a gigantic year in the city of Toronto as we are hosting All-Star. And here on the Hangout, we host some Canadian basketball All-Stars. We start on the far end of the couch with the Brock Badgers head coach, Charles Kissy. Thank you so much for joining us. You're kind of like a regular now. You feel comfortable on the couch?
Getting a little more comfortable. I like it.
Okay, not a regular, but we hope he becomes one. One of the best basketball trainers in the city, responsible for working with guys like Dwight Powell, Anthony Bennett, my man Vlad from Real Basketball Training, looking real fly in them red trainers. Vlad, how you feeling?
Thanks, I'm feeling great, man. Thanks for having me, man.
We're glad to have you. And my brother from another mother, one of the best members of the cast of characters that visit the couch, Donovan Bennett. What up, bro?
Oh, good to be here. Happy New Year, my dude.
Looking good, too. I like the whole switch.
I'm trying.
You're well put together
They
today.
told me I'm sitting beside you, so I don't
Yes.
have fly nets, but I tried to come correct.
You showed out. You showed out. Now, let's get into it, of course. When you talk NBA basketball in the city, you begin with the Toronto Raptors. It's time for us to round up your Toronto Raptors. And we start with the big win, the Toronto Raptors in Brooklyn. Shouts out to my mom and the rest of the fam out there. But they got the best of the Nets. Now, here's a conversation I want to start with you, Vlad. Fans have fallen in love with Bismack Bismack over the last stretch, what he's been able to do defensively. But Jonas Valanciunas has returned from his finger injury, 22-11. Your impressions of what Jonas did and your impressions of the impending battle between the two centers.
Well, listen, Jonas is a pretty good center. I mean, he requires playing time. He needs the ball.
He needs touches.
He needs touches. Definitely he needs touches. I wish he gets more touches, because that way we'll change the whole complexity of how they play.
But there has been kind of hiccup with him and the team because you kind of see a different team when Bismack's on there, no?
Well, Bismack is more of a defensive presence, more active in terms of, hustle guy, where Jonas is different breed. He demands, double teaming on offense. Also, his big presence on defense too. But
a little less mobile.
They're less mobile with him, right? They play a lot faster with him, with Bismack, right?
Now, Charles Kissy, I'll throw this to you because you are a student of Dwayne Casey's coaching philosophy, right? You've been in there with camp with him, and here's one argument people are making. Bismack kind of fits the identity of the team that Dwayne Casey's kind of been trying to create over the last little bit. Your thoughts?
1,000%. Defense wins games. They played well with him. Yes, he's not polished offensively at this point, but he defends. He protects the rim. He rebounds like an animal. Obviously, Valanciunas could score better, right? You said he commands double teams. I wouldn't go that far, but
if they give him the ball, they might.
Yeah, and I just think
well,
if
let's
they move it all
the
together.
deciding force. Will Jonas demand double teams?
Not at this point, but the conversation I think is fascinating because styles make fights.
Right.
And it's not even so much about Casey and the way he's going, it's almost about the way the game is going. Last night is one of the few times Jonas can play against another back-to-the-basket big.
Yep.
They're now becoming extinct. Those two guys are like dinosaurs. But the way the game is going, a guy like Tristan Thompson, who rebounds, can defend the pick and roll, can move his feet defensively, can make a lot of money. And that's where Bismack fits into this equation because of the way the game's going.
Okay, let's take a step back, though. Before this Brooklyn Nets game, there was a lot of conversation going on about what happened in the two games prior with those third and fourth quarter collapses. And this Raptors team was in a bit of trouble. Dwayne Casey came out and made some comments. The media picked on him immediately. The first comment was that some guys are more concerned with touches than with the philosophy of the team. First off, who do we think is concerned with touches? Because that's what everyone's going to think about first, right? Is it Jonas? I'm going to ask you, Vlad.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No. I mean, if it was Jonas, it was by now it would have been an issue.
Now,
because he hasn't been getting touches for a while.
Okay,
for 2 years now.
Dwayne Casey has kind of taken a step back from those comments. But, I mean, what do we think of what happened in those in those 2 games there? Because the identity kind of got lost on him Bennett there.
Yeah, and I think it's the collective. And when you're winning, when you're having a flow offensively, everyone gets touches and you get energy from touching the ball. When you're not, then it's some ways the opposite. And when 2 of your stars, both Kyle Lowry and DeMar DeRozan, historically have made their names off of dribble drive and being able to create their own shot, it's tough to sometimes revert back to playing, in a more free-flowing system.
Hold on, we got the coach and we got the scout. Let me throw this at you. Tim and Sid came out and said, blow it up. Blow it up.
Huh.
Now, I'm not sure I'm ready for that drastic of a move yet. Do you agree, or would you give this group more time to gel?
1 more month. If you ask me.
Great deadline.
1 more month, and then they
think-
can make moves.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, if you want, this team isn't built to win a championship right now, right? So, if they want to make the playoffs, they're going to do that.
Yeah.
If they want to go far in the playoffs, they need more pieces,
Yeah.
and it is what it is. It's just the reality of how they're composed, and even with, Bismack is a nice piece, and Valanciunas, and we're talking about these guys. At the end of the day, the ball has to move. I agree with that. The ball doesn't move. When the ball doesn't move for the Raptors, they do not look good, and they are not good. And when the ball moves for them, they're as good as anybody.
Right? Yeah, so as they are built right now, if they don't make that move, where do you see them closing out the year?
Well, this we're talking Raptor-centric because of where we are, but this is a conversation that is going on in the majority of markets in the league right now.
Yes.
Like, there's a handful of teams that could win a championship.
Especially in the Eastern Conference, where it's like you actually have a shot at doing something this year.
Sure, you could have a bad week and go to 10th, or a good week and go to 2nd. So everyone is in this mediocrity stage where if I don't have one of those 4 or 5 great players, what am I doing? And if I'm just going to the playoffs and messing around a little bit, should you then blow it up? How long has Indiana, Chicago been in that purgatory of nice team that can mess around in the playoffs, but no one really is taking you that serious?
Okay, so let's throw something out here. You guys talked about the trade deadline and the fact that they might have to bring in that other piece. During the offseason, that other piece was DeMarre Carroll, a guy who kind of did what you're talking about for the Atlanta Hawks and tried to take him another step forward. But it's looking like a bad bill of health is surrounding DeMarre Carroll. Your impression, do you think he was healthy? Do you think he was prepared for this season? Because that's 3 different injuries now.
Yeah, it's tough to say. Certainly being in shape and that type of thing helps. I'm not saying he's not.
He looks
but
like
it helps take care of your body. I don't know, how it's tough. I'll say this. He's defending the best guy when he's on the floor every night. He's defending the best guy. He's got the responsibility to score some points, but really defend. It's a tough gig.
Vlad, is this a competitive team with a healthy DeMarre Carroll?
So. He's a good pickup, but it's not the one that will take them over the edge to beat Cleveland and those guys. It's tough to say. He has these injuries, but, if he's healthy, he can help the team, but I don't think that's the edge they need.
All right, so consensus here is blow it up. No.
That's right.
All right, well, something they do have to blow up, or maybe not, the Philadelphia 76ers. But when we return here on the Hangout, Canada's home for talking hoops, we got to talk about those very Philadelphia 76ers. Have they turned the tide? Are the Sixers for real? Probably not.
No.
Hangout!
Hell.